GM, hello everybody and welcome to the program. Another day hacking on Samui Wallet for Solana Cypherpunk Hackathon, and I'm gonna jump right in. So let me see, share my screen right here, and then make sure, yes, everything seems to be working well. Pop up the chat right here, and Sandeep's already there. He got kind of an advantage as I shared the link with him directly. Season 1, episode 6. I'm glad you're keeping track. I'm glad you're keeping counts, but I'm not going to update it still because I'm sure I will forget, which will annoy me. So I'm just going to keep it global, generic, fastest way to stream is this. So today, what are we going to do? I want to look at the transactions in the database. So let's go back to the app. And if you see right here, the main issue we had the last time is that if we switch an account, we also want to switch to a wallet inside that account. So for those of you that are not aware, an account here is represented by a mnemonic phrase, and we can just derive multiple wallets from that. So when I switch right here in the same account, this all works as expected. However, if I switch to an account, if I switch to a wallet and make this active outside, this doesn't work. And then I also have to make the account work. So success today is defined such that if I set an account active, it should automatically also set the first wallet active. And similarly, if I set a wallet active, it should also set that account active if that's not happening. Now, to do this, we're going to use DB transactions from DEXI. DEXI is our database, and DEXI allows, as any proper database, it allows to do transaction. So it allows us to use arbitrary functions. Like here it has good friends and add comment. And then inside the transaction, inside of this table, it'll say, do first this, and then do that. So it looks like you can reuse transaction list code, these functions, and execute it within a transaction. Now, another thing to note while looking at the syntax, you can tell the transaction if you want to do a certain mode, read, write, or just read. In our case, it'll be rewrite transactions. And you can pass in the tables that you want to, I guess, lock inside of the transaction. Now, we're not going to worry too much about error handling because Toby today created an issue where he states we have to use effect. So I'm going to conveniently assume happy path, proper case of happy path blindness, and we'll just assume that the world's happy place, and we will just create these things, assuming that all is right. And what I'm going to do today is write unit tests to make this happen. So we're going to switch back to this one. I'm actually going to make the browser very small, and I'm going to make the editor a bit bigger. So let me switch this back. I'm just going to do full screen editor, not going to be worrying with Spotify right here. And let's see. So I'm going to go back to the main branch, and this core not found should have been merged. Yeah, there you go, bmain core not found. So I'm going to do account wallet. So active account wallet transaction. Now, I also made some notes, and let me zoom this in, by the way, so it's a bit better visible also like on mobile. Maybe we can have like one tick extra even. Perfect. So GM, multiple people joining here. It's awesome to see. So thanks everybody for joining. And I hope you're having a great time while we tackle this beast. Now, in the notes that I made, so Samui Wallet ND, created some local notes here, some scratch. So a few things that I can already tick off. I made this one, made that one, made the portfolio, so we might as well check this out. So I'm going to do a mobile view, because that's basically how this is going to look. We now have a portfolio here. So we have activities, we have a sol balance, and then if we would change to a different account, so let me go account settings and actually pick one here. We do need to work on this mobile view. If I go to portfolio and I switch accounts, you see that it will update all of these things. Now, this is not looking very good yet. I will add a bunch of tabs here. Activity will go in one tab, token in the other. Like, there's a lot to be done from the database. But yeah, we also added this warning right on top. So this experimental software, use this wallet at your own risk. Do not use any real funds. Cannot reiterate enough. I will share when I use this with my wallet. Before that, I would not recommend it. After that, it's still at your own risk. We don't have a support team. It's just Toby and myself. And we're not assuming any, we're not, like, you're on your own. You're on your own risk. It's community supported. We will not add bugs. You can verify. Don't trust us. Verify the code. Don't use this with real funds just yet. We did add this little warning here, which is annoying enough that people should probably read it. Another thing that I added today is a way to delete database. So you can click delete. There is a double confirmation, so you have to click OK twice. People won't read. Most of them won't read, but that doesn't matter. It's there. So we're getting close to the place where people can actually test this. And Toby is joining the show. Should have added a description for use fact. Yes, though I also have a bunch of things that I could add there. So we should probably add like a checklist with checkboxes of places where we know effect might come in handy. For today, good old case of happy path blindness. And I'm going to tick off a few of these boxes. So this is here, this is their tokens. Wallet NFTs, I'm actually going to drop this into portfolio into lower priority because this is, first of all, it's a rabbit hole as I shared here. And second of all, it's not really important. Like, people understand that that is a thing. The beta software banner is on top. I guess I should call it experimental software. A mainnet warning. So the other thing, the last thing I want to add before shipping this are inviting testers. If you go to clusters, you create one and you select mainnet here, which also doesn't work well on mobile. If you select mainnet, there will be a warning here and you will have to accept, yes, I understand the risks. Real funds is an issue. This is experimental software, etc., etc. So we're going to be nagging a bit about this stuff. We really want to drive the point home that you should not use this for real funds. With that out of the way, I'm going to get started on the transactions. Now, luckily, I already had a bunch of notes taken here right after the last time when we actually figured out that this was needed. So I think a little bit of design here is nice. And the function that I want to have is db account set active. So export async function, db account set active, which should take a db of database. And the account ID, I reckon, which will be a string. And this is what we're going to implement today. Now, if we look at a very similar function, like let's say delete, this is probably the most similar one. Actually, here we just take ID. So let's also here just take ID. And then we can kind of look at the nodes, what is coming back. Now, one of the things that I do want to do while not using effect, I think it makes sense to do it in this try catch. That way, at least we have a customized error message and we don't just throw whatever Dexy throws at us. And we're going to be implementing these things. So set the active count ID preference to the new value, get the list of values. So I'm just going to basically take these nodes. And I'm going to pop them right in here. So a few things that I want to do here, and I think actually this will be all in a transaction, and it will be read-write. And the tables that we are going to do is DB accounts, DB preferences, sure, but also DB wallets. And I reckon this is going to be an async function. And in here, this is where all the magic will happen. Now I am going to quickly move back to the transaction nodes here on the documentation. So yeah, they put in all of these tables async, and then they basically run things. Now, as we've seen in the quick reference here, we're allowed to use functions we already have. So this is kind of nice because we can just use functions that we already have. For instance, figure out if the account that you want to make active here actually exists, which seems like a fairly same thing to do. So what I always like to do is const found is db accounts find unique, pass in set db and a ID. And then if not found, we want to throw an error. Well, we don't want to throw an error. We want to use effect here. So I might as well just add some nodes, use effect. Now we're sure that this thing exists. So next thing that I actually want to do is set the active account ID preference to this new value. So we've already been using this preference. Now, one thing that I realized is that it might be the case that preference is not already set. So when I was working with this indicator of experimental software, I actually found that, let me share where this is. This is in general. I created this use preference hook, should have dropped it in a different file. But actually here in update, I basically made some sort of an absurd thing. I think this can be this is probably the way to handle it. I think if we update if we want to set the value of a preference, it doesn't really matter for wherever we consume it if the thing already exists, I think. So with that in mind, actually, now that I think about it a bit more, we might actually get rid of this create and basically handle it here in the update. So much so that we already have the case where we don't have a preference. So this is basically where we can say, oh, you know, if a preference doesn't exist, just set it. And what it probably would look like is move the parsing up. So we do first want to parse the input if the input can be parsed for whatever reason. If we have an empty object after parsing this input, then we might just throw an error, use effect. Then if we don't have preference, so it's not there, we can create it, otherwise we can update it. Now this is not something what I'm going to do today, but I'm going to mimic this. So I'm going to mimic this. I'm just going to add it in here. So I'm just going to do an imperative job of figuring this out. So in these live shows, I'm not going to aim for perfect. I'm going to make it work. Then the day after, I'm going to make it right. And if it's slow, I'm going to make it fast. These are the 3 rules that I'm living by. So we're interested in the active account ID. And this gives us a preference. So active account preference. Don't have a active account preference, then we should create it. So here we're going to say db preference create db and use the input, same key, and set the value to found.id. Now, one thing that I don't like is that I used the preference key twice. So what I'm going to do is set key to make key a type of preference key and set it to active account ID. And this makes it easier if I later on copy paste the whole thing. So if we don't have a preference, we set it. Otherwise, I don't like using else, but here I am going to do it. Otherwise, update it. So db preference by key, update the value to found. And this basically takes care of this line of the to-do list. So set the active account preference to the new value. Now, after that, what I'm going to do is these two things. So now that I have this active account set, I actually want to fetch all of the wallets for this account. So I'm going to say wallets again. I'm going to make it work first. So db wallet find many, pass in the db and pass in the account ID, which is found.id. Now I use found.id a bunch of times already, so I'm going to create a variable here, set account.id is found.id, and then just be more declarative with what I want here, which also makes this nice, short, and sweet. Now this is plural because I should have an array of wallets. Now somehow this is not strictly typed. I don't really like that. I think it should be strictly typed here, but this is an alias. I think this is also something that using effect will help us with. So I'm not going to bother with it right now. And I haven't used effect a whole ton. I've been nerd sniped by it. I like what it does. I like what it offers, but yeah. I'm not very comfortable writing it yet. I'm fairly sure that we can start with this DB, use effect on it, and then basically have it spread out and use it more and more, and compose it, handle errors the proper way. So let's keep going. So account set active. So we have wallets. If we don't have wallets length, we probably want to warn that there are no wallets in this account and return because we don't have anything to set. And then the next tree is actually going to be very similar to this, but with the wallet. So I'm actually already going to take this out, and I'm going to create a function, an async function that I call db preference upsert, that I'm going to have take a database key of preference key and the value of string, because that's how the values currently are all stored. Now I don't need this anymore. I can just call this found, how I like to call this. And then I can just say value is value. And db preference create returns a preference key. db preference update by key returns a number. So I'm just going to have to call, I'm just going to make this promise void. Because for now, I don't really care. So that's kind of nice, because that means I can await db upsert here, set the key. Now I can just inline the key because I only need it once, right? So that means I can get rid of this. And then back here, I can say active wallet ID equals wallets.null.id. Now we know wallets.0 exist. This should never happen. But last time I'm going to mention it, probably not. I'm just going to make it work first. So we are going to get list wallets, and then we set the wallet to here. And I am probably, I guess this is the way for now to do it. Now, this function here, db set account active, this is the thing that we can run in the UI when we click the button. So let's get back our wallet and put it right next to the editor here. So I'm going to test this right here. It's doing the same thing. But this one accounts in the settings, accounts, details, I reckon, or setting account list. .tsx, it's a feature. Here we go. Hey, why is this file not opening? I'm going to pop open my editor. Something's off here. I'm not going to bother with it right now. Here now, we now have a proper function. So this set active, what I want to run here is the DB account set active. Now, the way we do this is we have a DB account set active DB in the DB package, and then inside this React package, we actually have a DB account use DB account set active React hook, and this is going to be set active, and in the here we want to do a set active. Now, yeah, I'm just going to copy the delete one. I'm going to call this set active, and we're going to copy this over and call this set active. And now we're left with this. So we should be able to import this from what we just created. And then also here, copy the delete. That should make this one happy as well. There we are. Amazing. So now we have a mutation called the DB account set active. And if all goes well, I should be able to get the mutate async and say DB account set active mutation. And then what does this thing take? It should just take the ID. So in here, I think it just takes item.id. Mutate async. Okay, it takes an object where ID equals item ID. There we are. Now, if this works, we should see that the account is going as well. Now, here we are. Chrome version cannot read properties of null. I'm just going to clean up the database and figure out if that's, I just have a function for that. I'm going to clean up the database. I'm going to go to accounts, create a new one, derive a bunch of wallets, and then do create a new one, account 2, and here as well, derive a bunch of wallets. And now I'm going to be switching. Okay, so this doesn't work. Let's actually implement a test to do this. Because I told you guys I was going to do test-driven development, but I am not. So I'm going to kind of shortcut here, set active.tst, set active. Now should set an account to active, well, should set an account and its first wallet to active. So this is what we want to test. I'm conveniently going to skip the inconsistent, the unexpected behavior here. Actually going to leave these, just going to comment it out, and we're going to say describe.skip. We are running the tests still, and here I should now be, let me first make this fail. Okay, cool, we're here. So what do I want to do here? So one of the things that I did a few days back was do these input generators. So I have an easy way to create a bunch of accounts, a bunch of preferences, basically all of the proper types that we have in the database. So for this, I reckon we want to do 2 accounts. So this will be ID1 and ID2 with input 1 and 2. And then for both, we want to have so input account 1, input account 2, and then similarly, let's say ID account 1 and ID account 2. I'm going to do exactly the same with wallet. We don't need to delete just yet. We don't need it at all, actually. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And these wallets, they require an account ID. Sure enough, ID account 1, ID account 2. 1 second, please. And I'm back. Yes, it's Samui ad break. I need water. Keep my throat dry. Otherwise, my friend keeps on telling me that I need to take care of myself. So we have these accounts, and then what I actually want to test here is the following. Let's see. DB account create already has this active. So we already built this. Now, how did I test this in the create statement is actually, I do it before and after. And I then verify here that the before is null and the after has a value. So I'm actually going to copy this over. And then this is my act. Actually, I'm actually only into set before. This is now my before set active. And what I expect this thing to be is ID account 1. I don't need all of these. We have a green test. That's beautiful. So similarly, I'm interested in this wallet ID, and this wallet ID before active should be wallet ID 1. Now the thing that's skipping here is that I have the account of assertions. So I count the assertions, and that way I make sure that everything that I want to test is being tested, or everything that I want to assert is being asserted. Now, what I'm also interested in, after this update is happened, I need to set this thing active. After set active, I expect these things to be set to 2. Now, in this, if I set my assertions to 4, this will horribly fail because we don't have it. Expected this to be that, which is not. So far, so good. Well, if I update my test, but it should still fail. Right, it still fails. So great. So now that we can actually run this thing, so now we can actually say, hey, wait, db set db account set active db, and what do I want to activate? I want to activate ID account 2. And now it passes. Okay, this is beautiful. Why is this beautiful? This means that this issue, that the logic is working as expected, and the issue is somewhere in the front end. So let me check again. So account 1 is active. Account 2 is now set as active. It's not there. If I refresh, it's also not there. If I go in here, it's also not there. So one could wonder if we're actually running that code. So let's see list TSX, feature account list, settings UI account list. Is this what we're interested in? This is the account we want to set active. Item.id, just so I know. This is the account we want to set active. Okay, so how about this one? Also not this one. And let's see what I actually changed. Account list. Okay, I started changing the wallet, so this is not good. Such a dummy sometimes. Let's keep this here, and let's just update it when we get there. So in account list, do this one as the mutate async, import the thing, and let's see. This needs to change. Now this is already kind of a thing that we need to figure out before we, like after the hackathon, while we formalize a bunch of things. Okay, now I just deleted the thing. That's not great. Future account list, create a new seed, account 2, sure. Go back to accounts, click it, it's deleting it. That's not great at all. Use db account set active. Let's actually see inside the database. Accounts, there's just one of these. And I create a new one, generate an account. Let me pull this one out so it's a bit more responsive. So now we have 2. And if I do, let me make sure, I'm just console logging this just to make sure that I'm on the right track. So I'm at account here. And inside the account details, I'm just going to undo the bunch here. So I'm going to undo this one. And I'm going to undo this one. So we're not in account details. This is not where we want to work. And yeah, sure. Undo this one, which then makes the file compile. Great. ESLint to its work. Fine. So now we're here in the account list. I do click account. It says this account that we want to set active. It's BD. Sure. Now also we have this DB preference find unique. We also have the live variant of that. So I can say find by key live and preference. This should be the value. So I'm just going to like JSON stringify this value. Now, if we update here, we didn't wire this up, so it shouldn't matter. And now if I run this, mutate async. So mutate async is this handler, which is this action. I reckon I know what I'm doing wrong. This is the whole issue with copy-paste driven development. I just call into the delete method. So now let's see, it works. Bam! The only thing here, it didn't update, but it did update right there. It did update right here. So one thing that we already can figure out is that this is now active. And this now is active.value. Nice. And I can get rid of this one. And now we should be able to switch it. There we are. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I like this a lot. So the second place where we want to update this is in the account. So this is the account dropdown. Account dropdown. The settings UI account dropdown, this thing calls into here, where my mutate async will now be replaced by this one right here. And with that, it should work both ways, which it doesn't because we need to update the input here. So this one here, this one there, update the input, and this should be ID. There we are, beautiful. So this is one. I'm going to be adding the other one into the same pull request because I think these things are similar enough to work together. So I'm going to, again, even though I know it is a source of issues, I'm going to be doing this. And I'm going to be doing it here as well. So just copy paste DB wallet set active. Now the logic here in wallet is going to be a bit different, but let's start with this. So I did write down the logic. So let's open my notes again. Samui MD. So set the active account ID preference to the new value. Sure, we even updated, we created an upsert. Get the list of wallets for the active account ID. Yep, set the active wallet ID to the first one of the list of wallets. I think we can fairly say that we finished this feature and we ticked off that box. Now, similarly, gets requested wallet from the database. Actually here, gets the requested account from the database is what we did. Get requested wallet from the database. I add little cute checkboxes here. So this is already what we're doing. So I'm going to add comments right here. Sure. Second comment, get the active account ID preference. Now we want to set a wallet. I don't think. Okay, so what I'm trying to achieve here is I just want to make sure that this all works. And I don't care too much about being efficient in the database. That said, if a value is already set to a certain thing, I don't think there's a lot of need to set it again. So we're not going to use this preference db upset because we already have it. So let's go to db account set active and export this thing because this is now its own thing. So we now have a clean way to do an upsert for databases. I'm very much aware that this is kind of a weird syntax, but I'm going to leave it for now. I'm not going to optimize this. So we don't need this one here. Instead, we can just import it. Then I did some search and replacing. So I'm going to comment out this code, and we're just going to go one by one. So what I want to do here, get the active accounts. Let's just do it. Let's just do what I said on the tin. Get the active key. So I'm going to, again, key is preference key is active accounts. So this is the key for the account. And this is the key for the wallet. Active wallet account ID. And key active account equals to await db preferences find by unique key pass in the database and the key to account. So this is what we're doing right here. Get the preference of account ID. Now, the other thing that we want to do here is ensure that the requested wallet ID, so this requested wallet, is equal to active account ID. So if not, wallet, if not found, if found dot account ID is not equal to active account dot value, here's where we want to do the upsert. Key accounts, set the value to found.account ID. Now there's still quite a bunch of things that are, there's still quite a bunch of assumptions right here, and there's quite a bunch of situations where this can go wrong. But as I expressed a few times, I'm just going to make sure that this works. So this is where we do this check. Ensure that the requested wallet account ID is equal to active account ID. And after that's true, we can basically just say db preference upsert db to key wallet and set it to wallet ID. And I think this should be it for this function. So this is a very similar function. Now, account 2 is selected with its wallet. So if I go to account 1 and I now select this wallet, it should also update the account, which it doesn't. Why? Because we didn't update the function. So far so good. So let's use this db wallet set active. So db wallet set active, this calls into the db account options. So we want all of these things to be wallet. And we want all of this to be wallet. And then there's a bunch of things that doesn't exist. So let me go here take this delete, create set active here, make this wallet set active. And these are the set active mutate options, which I'm going to copy over from the delete options. And with that, there should be no errors anymore. And we can use this DB wallet set active in the settings feature account details. Now we're here. And now we're at the file that was just biting me in the back. Mutate async, change this one. It's going to be a simple array, a simple object, where ID is set to item ID. And now, if I change this right here, it should select, it will select. Same issue here with the data. So we can say DB preference live by key live, and this is then data, or yeah, data, and this then can be data.value. Here we go. And with that, I think we fixed our issue. It looks like it's fixed. Yes, this is amazing. This is exactly what I want to do. Now for a final test, I'm going to nuke the database here. So I'm going to go back to the actual IndexedDB right here. And I'm going to give a fresh start, and I'm going to do some onboarding. Ah, there's somebody new here. Electro, hello there. GM, welcome. All new here. Explain a little bit what is actually going on. That's a great question. I'm working on a wallet for Solana. So a wallet where you can store key pairs, interact with it, send transactions, connect to Solana clusters, all of that good stuff. We're building a web extension, but I'm also building a web version. And right now I'm fixing a bug that I found out in one of my other live streams. So if you want to see more, this is stream number 6. So if you have like 6 hours spare, nothing to do, you're more than welcome to check out what I've been working on. Now, I did prepare a bunch of, so that's kind of the what I'm doing here. If you have any more questions, please drop them down below. Make sure to follow me on X, bman_nl. Make sure to follow the account project, Samui build. Give us a start, GitHub, all of the good stuff. How in the world did 15 minutes already pass? It feels legit like 15. Well, time flies when you're having fun, sir. And I think that's the case here. I think this time also flies. It's like, wow. At least we're making progress, which is good. Now, these key pairs, I prepared these ones. I appreciate the fact that this is just plain text, so they're not really secret, but there's no other way for me to have like funded accounts in here. So I'm just going to add Alice. And I'm just going to add Bob. And let me have them a few derived key pairs as well. So I'm going to say another one. We're going to add Bob here. Bob also has a bunch of key pairs. Now this should work always. So I could go here to Bob, and now it updates to Bob. And actually, if I go to portfolio, we see that we have accounts, and we now just have proper account swapping. I love this. I love it when a plan comes together. And this is just very, very cool, if I may say so myself. There's a bunch of glitches. You see a quick wallet not selected right here. There's a bunch of things that we need to work on to make this more fluent. It's definitely not consumer ready. But for now, it's also saying like, hey, DevNet. Now, the beautiful BD of Triton, Steve, provided us with free RPC during the hackathon provided by Triton. So we will not run into these issues. But yeah, RPC is going to be an issue for people using the wallet because initially we're not going to provide these things. So cool. So with that, we did a bunch of things. I think the last thing to take care here is to make sure that we have a test for the DB wallet. And again, even though I know it's not the, well, probably it's not, There's challenges with doing copy-paste driven development, but it definitely beats the hell out of doing it all by hand. So I'm going to be, nope, I'm going to be doing some more copy-paste. So this is DB wallet create. Well, maybe I don't even need to reset these things. So in fact, I very much want the same behavior. So set should set a wallet and its related account to active. And I think actually DB wallet set active, and this should still pass. It doesn't. Nice. So let me see. So I need to create the same world. Like this is just the thing. We're interested in 2 accounts with 2 wallets. And we say the active account before and the active account after. Actually, the set active can just go because it's kind of obsolete. It means this set active can go here as well. So that's also obsolete. Yes, what I need to pass in here is the wallet. And now it should run. There you go. Okay, cool. Yeah, I got a test for this. Haha, that's wholesome. I'm all new for this. I'm not understanding any of it, but it's amazing to watch. I'm actually enjoying it. Well, I'm super glad to hear that. Story time with B, I guess. I really enjoyed watching Andreas Kling here on YouTube while he was hacking on his operating system, Serenity OS. And he's using C++. And I don't know nothing about C++, but just watching him hack away on this stuff, watching him tackle problems was super inspiring. It was really chill for me to watch. So I totally feel you. Electro, more than welcome to the show. For the next, I guess, 8 days, for the following 8 days, hopefully every day around this time, I'll do a live stream and you should see this wallet come to life. And yeah, might get you into Solana. So welcome to the community, welcome to the show. And with that, I'm also going to call it a night. It's been a lot of late nights. It's almost 3 a.m. where I'm at. So I'm going to wrap up. It was very productive because this was actually an issue that that was annoying me while testing. This was actually something I had to go back, click again. So this is what we fixed. And maybe to wrap it up, I'm going to do a commit. So commit message is fix of, oh, yes, Sandeep, I'm already going to stop because it's going to be less than 1 hour today. But quick stream, yes, quick little adventure, in and out, just like Rick and Morty. 20-minute adventure, Morty. Fix, make sure, no, it's a feature. Implement DB account, DB wallet set active functions. Now, this looks all good. Let's do the quick type check to see if that's all working. It looks pretty nice. And yeah, so I'm going to push this up. So what we did today was wrap up this account checker so that if you now switch an account, it will actually select a wallet inside that account, which is totally what you expected. And if we go back to the previous branch, we saw that we had an issue here because if we would click, it would go and we had no wallet selected. Now, no wallet selected. This is kind of part of the onboarding. This is not great. I need to fix a few things here. We'll get there eventually, but slowly and steadily. does it. So now when I say, just killing a mosquito here. Now when I say account 1, I get this one. If I pick another here, it's all set. And if I pick another one, there you go. Beauty. Okay. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you have a great rest of the evening, morning, day, and I really hope to see you back tomorrow, same time. Electro, day trader, and I trade crypto and Forex. I saw Solana and it got me interested, and now I'm loving it. Amazing. Very nice to get you hooked. I wish you all the best with your day trades. I suck at trading, so that's why I do development. Thank you everybody. Love you all, and I see you all.